Darkness does not rise alone. Behind every dictator stands a circle of loyal followers, ambitious men willing to sacrifice morality, humanity, and truth in pursuit of power. When the world thinks of Adolf Hitler, it remembers the face of Nazi Germany. But Hitler did not build the Third Reich by himself. Around him stood a powerful group of men who helped transform a broken nation into one of history's most destructive regimes. They were ministers, military commanders, propagandists, secret police chiefs, and political schemers. Together, they formed Hitler's inner circle, a brotherhood of ambition, fear, and ruthless loyalty. For years they appeared unstoppable. They conquered nations, silenced opposition, and terrorized millions. But as history has shown time and again, empires built on fear eventually collapse from within. This is the story of Hitler and the Lords of Evil, the rise, betrayal, and downfall of the men who helped shape the Nazi nightmare. The story begins after the First World War. Germany was humiliated by defeat. Its economy was shattered. Millions were unemployed, and political violence filled the streets. Many Germans searched desperately for someone who could restore national pride. Into this chaos stepped a former soldier named Adolf Hitler. With fiery speeches and promises of renewal, Hitler attracted followers who believed he could save Germany. Among these early supporters were ambitious men who saw opportunity in his movement. Some wanted power, others wanted wealth. Some believed in Nazi ideology, and a few simply feared being left behind. As the Nazi Party grew, these men formed the foundation of Hitler's future empire. Together, they would help transform a fringe political movement into a dictatorship. No ruler governs alone. Among Hitler's closest allies was Hermann Göring, a decorated World War I pilot. Göring became one of the most powerful men in Germany. He controlled the Air Force and amassed enormous wealth and influence. Then there was Joseph Goebbels. Small in stature, but enormous in influence, Goebbels mastered propaganda. Through newspapers, radio broadcasts, films, and public rallies, he shaped how millions of Germans saw the world. Another key figure was Heinrich Himmler. Himmler built the SS into one of the most feared organizations in history. Under his command, surveillance, persecution, and mass murder became state policy. Beside him stood Reinhard Heydrich, often described as one of the most dangerous men in Nazi Germany. There was also Martin Bormann. Though rarely seen in public, Bormann controlled access to Hitler himself. His influence behind the scenes made him one of the most powerful figures in the regime. Each man served a different purpose. Some commanded armies. Some controlled information. Others enforced terror. Together, they became the machinery that sustained Hitler's rule. In 1933, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Within months, democratic institutions were dismantled. Political opponents were arrested. Independent newspapers were silenced. Power became concentrated in Nazi hands. Hitler's inner circle played a critical role in this transformation. Goebbels controlled public opinion. Himmler expanded the security apparatus. Göring strengthened military power. Bormann managed the internal workings of the regime. The Nazi leadership presented itself as united and invincible. Massive rallies showcased strength and discipline. Propaganda glorified Hitler as Germany's savior. Many citizens saw prosperity returning. But beneath the surface, a machinery of oppression was growing. The regime increasingly targeted political opponents, minorities, and anyone considered a threat. Fear became an instrument of governance, and the men surrounding Hitler ensured that fear reached every corner of society. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland. The Second World War had begun. At first, Nazi Germany achieved astonishing victories. Country after country fell under German control. The military seemed unstoppable. Hitler's inner circle celebrated these successes. Göring promised domination of the skies. Goebbels portrayed every battle as proof of German superiority. Himmler expanded Nazi control across occupied territories. The regime appeared stronger than ever. But success bred arrogance. many leaders began competing for Hitler's approval. Rivalries intensified. Behind closed doors, trust gave way to suspicion. The closer they came to power, the more they fought among themselves. The seeds of betrayal had already been planted. The turning point came with the invasion of the Soviet Union. What Hitler expected to be a quick victory became a devastating struggle. German forces suffered enormous losses. Then came the defeat at Stalingrad. The myth of Nazi invincibility was shattered. As military disasters mounted, tensions within Hitler's inner circle grew. Leaders blamed one another for failures. Some secretly positioned themselves for a future without Hitler. Others desperately tried to maintain influence. Hitler became increasingly isolated. He trusted fewer people. His decisions grew more erratic. Paranoia spread throughout the leadership. The once confident rulers of Europe were now trapped inside a collapsing empire. And everyone knew the end was approaching. As Allied forces advanced from both east and west, Hitler's inner circle faced impossible choices. Some remained loyal until the very end. Others quietly prepared escape plans. Several leaders attempted to negotiate survival. Trust disappeared completely. Each man feared becoming the next scapegoat. The regime that had once demanded absolute loyalty was now consumed by suspicion. In the final months of the war, Berlin became a city under siege. Bombs destroyed entire neighborhoods. Supplies vanished. Hope faded. Inside underground bunkers, Nazi leaders watched their empire collapse around them. The men who had once controlled millions could no longer control their own fate. In April 1945, Soviet forces surrounded Berlin. Hitler retreated into his bunker. There, surrounded by a shrinking group of loyal followers, he faced reality. The Third Reich was finished. Many of Hitler's closest allies met tragic ends. Some committed suicide. Some were captured. Others disappeared while attempting to escape justice. Goebbels remained loyal until the final hours. Himmler attempted to distance himself from the collapsing regime. Göring sought to secure his own future. Bormann vanished amid the chaos. The powerful men who once stood at the center of Nazi Germany were now fugitives, prisoners, or corpses. Their empire had lasted only 12 years. Its consequences would endure for generations. The story of Hitler's inner circle is not only a story of power. It is a warning about what happens when ambition replaces conscience, when propaganda replaces truth, when fear replaces freedom. The men around Hitler helped build one of history's most destructive regimes. For a time, they seemed untouchable, but power gained through oppression is never permanent. Their rise was swift, their betrayal inevitable, and their downfall complete. The world remembers their names not for greatness, but for the devastation they helped create. History continues to study them so that future generations may recognize the dangers of unchecked power before it is too late. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories from history. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what historical documentary you'd like to see next. Until next time, thank you for watching.